Hey, good day everyone. So today we're going to talk about Gods Unchained. So this game has been in beta for quite some time already, like several months, and their Gods token has actually been released and already available for purchase. Now, the only thing that's really holding me back with the game itself is that it's in the ETH network, but at least on the bright side, they're under immutable, the second layer, so which doesn't really cost you gas, but of course, if you want to try to swap your tokens, you still have to go through ETH, and that's going to cost you quite a bit, right? So earning in the game, you might need to accumulate quite a number, quite a bit of money there before you plan to transfer it to ETH and get your earnings. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to share that because I haven't gotten to that point yet. I only started playing this game quite recently, so I can't really vouch for the cost of how much exactly you're gonna have to consider in terms of gas fees. So it may fluctuate depending on the day. So try to find the lowest gas fee as possible. Like you can use this tracker. You can look at the GUI. I'd say if it drops to 50 GUI or something like that, I think that would be probably the lowest gas fee that you can get. Then I think that should be good for you to try and swap the tokens. But at 92, I think it's already low, but I think you can get lower if you can. So that's one consideration before you want to try and get into this game. Alright, I mean, why am I talking about Gods Unchained right now? You know, I've been playing Splinterlands ever since I think August. Then I kind of glossed over Gods Unchained mainly because of that issue that I was thinking before. So I never got in to look into the possibility of how much you can actually earn in Gods Unchained. So there are two ways to actually earn in this game right now for free without using any, without purchasing anything, because the game allows you to get free packs, but they're non-tradable cards, but at least you can use them to play the game and try to rank up. Alright, so two things as I mentioned. So the key one got my attention really is this announcement that they had. So Blessing of the Gods extended. So they announced this like way back in mid-December, and they already did their initial launch for this program. I think it started in November and ended in somewhere in December. So the mechanics for this one is that this will allow you to earn Gods tokens from the game. So on a weekly basis, this game will allow you to earn Gods tokens, and the price for Gods token right now is at 4.36 USD. Price has dropped quite a bit. Let's say for the past, right? So price has dropped down to 4.36. It used to go as high as $8, which was incredibly high. Okay, if a fully diluted market cap is at $2 billion, I think that's really high. But I think maybe the potential for the game, we're gonna bank on the potential. Maybe it might go far, so we'll see. So the value here might be overstated in my perspective, because right now the game is still in beta. So we'll see how it goes moving forward. But right now, this is the price that you can get for the Gods token. So just take note that maybe the price might be higher or lower once you watch this video in the near future. So at least just take note of that. So on a weekly event, this is the requirement for you to be able to be eligible for the Gods token earning. So to just take note that you're not gonna earn like tons of Gods token here. You might earn enough if you manage to get to mythical levels. Maybe you might earn quite a bit there, maybe more than 10 tokens. But for me, like plebs like me, you're just gonna earn like a decent number of tokens. I would assume. I'm just hoping like we might get maybe 5 or 6 tokens. I'm happy because it's free anyways. So the requirements here is that you need to play at least 20 or more ranked games, and you need to win at least 7 ranked games. Now they also require here that you must pass 4 rounds of each ranked game. Now the reason why they mentioned this is because there's a lot of bots in the game as well. Same issue that we had with Splinterlands. So I would assume in this game they would have this issue as well. So it's not something surprising. So they have this type of requirements put in. That you need to be at least rank 4 Purified Iron on Gods Unchained by the end of the campaign to qualify. So just make sure you're on that level once the campaign ends, which is on January 24, 3:59 p.m. PST. So just take note of that calendar. Then the last requirement is play versus games with at least 17 unique opponents out of the 20 ranked games played. So this just means that you need to play against 17 different players. You might play, with the same player maybe twice or thrice. Maybe this is just to avoid some type of abuse that players might encounter or try to take advantage of. So their requirement is this one. So I've managed to do this in the span of 3 days in the last week. So I think this is very doable. So it's not that difficult to do. But they have a bonus requirement here that will allow you to get more points. So this will only get you relatively around 1 to 2 points once you meet the minimum requirements. So I would highly recommend that you also get into GU decks so you can track your progress. This will allow you to see the tracking for the Blessing of the Gods weekly earnings, which is for this particular event. So this is the initial requirement that you need to meet, then which I already met last week. Then the bonus point is you do another 20 match, another 17 unique opponents and 7 wins, and another bonus for another 20 match and so on. So that's why in total you should be playing around 60 games. So that will get you a total of 3 points. Well, for my case, because I only got to Twilight Shadow rank, so it's pretty low. So in terms of point calculation, they mentioned here that you need to be around rank 4 Purified Iron to rank 7 Twilight Shadow to get 1 point. Then you need to get to rank 8 Midnight Shadow to rank 10 Solar Gold for 1.5 points. Then rank 11 Ethereal Diamond to Mythic, you'll get you 2 points. Then again, as I mentioned before, this is the bonus points that you can actually get, so you can earn that one. Get your reward points for the week. So just take note, this is on a weekly basis. You need to do this every week. So 60 games. It's not that bad. You can actually do this and complete it. Now, in terms of earnings, how much exactly can you earn? So here they already mentioned the base reward pool that they're gonna have for the game. So the base one is 80,000 Gods tokens. But if in case we reach to a number of eligible players, then the pool would, be higher. So as they've mentioned here, we are already at 25,000 eligible players. But then again, this can fluctuate. It may go lower or it may go higher depending on the eligibility of each player for that particular week. So we may be 25k now, we may go 30k later, or we may go 20k later. So it depends. So it's really hard to calculate how much exactly you're going to be able to earn. So what I did here is that there's a calculation here that they mentioned in the original post for the initial program. So this is the calculation for you to be able to earn your Gods tokens. So let's say, for example, for me, I have 3 points, right? So total points for all existing players. So let's assume that there are 25,000 eligible players. So we can maybe safely assume that on average, let's say for all of the players, we're getting at 4 points, right, in total. So let's say 25,000. Then you get 4 points. For each of those 25,000 players, you get 100,000 points. So what you do is your points divided by 100,000. Then that is your percentage calculation. Then you multiply that to the Gods reward pool. So the reward pool for 25,000 eligible players is 212,000. Then you multiply that by 212,500. Then that will be 6.375. So that is a total Gods token that I will be able to earn for that particular week, which is great because I can use that Gods token to actually do Forge, which will allow me to make tradable cards. So hindsight, it's all good. It's not much. So right now the price is at 4.36. So let's multiply that for 4.36. So you can get a free $27 on a weekly basis for being the lowest level here. You can earn a little bit more, maybe around $30 or more. If you manage to go to a higher rank, maybe $40-50. So who knows, right? I mean, at least this is, in my perspective, it's free money. So I think I'm good with it. I'm going to play and grind it just to be able to earn that. Now, the second earning that you can actually get here is the weekend ranked. So the requirements here is that on the weekend, you need to meet 25 games. The first 25 games that you play, you need to at least win a certain number of games so you can obtain their free packs. Now, The requirement here is that before this event starts on the weekend, you need to reach a certain rank. So they have a table here that will allow you to see the qualifications. So before the weekend starts, you need to reach at least these types of ranks, so you will be able to qualify for these particular rewards. All right, so let's say if you reach Twilight Shadow and above, you can get a maximum of these types of rewards. So even if, let's say, you win 17, 18, 19, you're not going to be able to get any of these, because the max level that you got was only Twilight Shadow. So this is going to be your cap in terms of earning your card packs for the weekend event. So just make sure that if you want to get a higher one, then you need to get to as high as you can. If you can get to diamond, then that would be great. But of course, at that level, I mean, most of the people there are very, very competitive. So I don't think any free decks that we use there would even put a dent in them. All right. So for me right now, I'm only using free cards, free decks that are provided by the game itself. So far I've already gone to Midnight Shadow. So if we look at the game, that's already the S+ rank. Then yeah, so all I'm planning to do right now is just grind it and get some Flux tokens as well, because you need to use Flux to do Forge too. So Gods tokens and Flux are required. So the only way to earn Flux, from what I'm aware of, is going through here, so which we'll get to in a bit. Let's just finish first the ranked event. Geodex will be able to track that for you, so you can see mine here. I've managed to get to the maximum level that I'm able to actually earn. So I got 14 out of 25 games, so which is I barely made it, which is great, but at least I'm gonna be able to get at least these 5 free packs that I can trade once it's already available. So if you manage to get at least 16 wins and up for the weekend event, then you can actually get free additional packs. So you can try and see how much you're going to be able to get for your rank. So this one is a bit more interesting, the Water Mortal prize. So you can actually get a free rare pack if you manage to win at least 30 games throughout the entire weekend event. So this is already including the wins that you get in your initial 25 games. But as long as you manage to at least get 30 wins in total, doesn't matter how many games you play, then you will be eligible to get at least one rare pack for this event. Now, this will not always be the same right now. It can change moving forward depending on the availability of the pack. But right now it's still available, so you can also avail this. So just, win 30 games, then you'll be able to get a free pack. Alright, so those are the two main ones you'll be able to earn in the game. Now, hopefully if you get lucky with the packs, you might get some good cards and you might get more money from there, which is great. So at the end of the day, all I'm saying is that this is free. It's not gonna, it's not gonna make you rich overnight, but at least it's something that you can earn extra. If you have the time, you can play some games. Like, if you're gonna compare this to Hearthstone, maybe, right? You're not gonna earn from that game, but you do play it. I did play it so much before, but I never earned anything from it. So I'd rather play these games where I can actually earn something out of it. All right. Then so lastly, the Flux earning. So you can earn it by playing the rank game here. So in here, it'll mention to you like what are the requirements for you to get to free Flux. So here they mentioned, so you can see the circle here. These are the different heroes that are available in the game, these different gods. Then they will have these badges, so you can earn these badges. Then that will give you corresponding Flux earnings. So if you max these 3, then you won't be able to earn any more. Then you move to the next god, to the next god, to the next god, and up until you max everything out. So that way, your Flux token you will be able to use to forge your cards. Then they will also require, depending on the rarity and the level of the cards, they might require you to also use God's token as well. Alright, so I think that's about it in terms of earning in Gods Unchained. So hopefully, you might get interested. I suggest to try it out. It's free. It just takes a little bit of time to actually play the game, give or take around maybe 5 to 10 minutes depending on the type of gameplay that you do. Alright, with that guys, hopefully this video helps you out. Thank you for watching the video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and hope to see you again in my future videos. Stay safe, people.